Welcome back to another Star Citizen video, guys. Today we're going to take a look at what I believe is probably the best bang for the buck starter ship that you can get in Star Citizen right now. And when I say bang for the buck, I'm talking about the least amount of money that you can get a starter ship package and a ship with at this current moment in time, and the versatility of what you can do with this ship. Just my opinion, but I'm going to get into this and show you kind of what I'm talking about, and maybe some of you guys will agree with me on this. So let's dive into this, okay? So, the Mustang Alpha 2 comes standard right off the bat with your two size 2 gimbaled guns right here on the front. They actually work effectively well, but that's not what draws me to the ship, right? So one thing that draws me to the ship is that there are hardpoint mounts on the wing that you can see, and even though it doesn't come from the factory with these guns, which is kind of, you know, differently. Normally when you buy a ship, it comes with something on the hardpoints that you can mount to, right? But on this ship you can actually mount a size 1 repeater to go on there. Now it's not gimbaled, but it is a size 1 repeater to help. So you can run, if you end up setting your ship up with non-gimbals, you'll have 4 non-gimbal repeaters on this basically starter ship that can really, I mean, it can fight pretty decently with it, especially somebody who's just getting into the game. They need to get a feel for the combat. They're doing their VLRTs. It is a great training tool for using non-gimbaled weapons. Now, the next thing on this ship that really stood out to me, especially when I first started playing, was the cockpit, right? This probably has the best starter ship cockpit. I just do not like the Aurora cockpit with all the stuff in the view. Man, this ship really gives you some immersion, especially if you're a new player. You want that, you're looking for that immersion that you've been seeing in the videos and stuff like this, and this is what's going to give it to you right here. I mean, the canopy closes as so, and then, I mean, look at the open view, guys. I mean, you can, I mean, it's so open, you can just see everything out of this, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, you know, when you're first playing this game. And I think it really brings in that immersion for a new player. And if you're a veteran player and you haven't played with this ship in a while, I highly recommend jumping back in this thing. It's cheap in game to buy, just to have to run around, and it's quite neat. So we're gonna hop out of this, and we're gonna roll around here to the back. Now I know this plane sitting in the landing mode. Now when you do go up, these wings do fold down, that I'll show you here in a little bit, but they do fold down, and it makes it look quite a bit better. And I love that they added the landing gear. I remember, like, some of the first iterations of this ship, none of this worked, and the wings were fixed, and you kind of landed on the wings, and it was just, yeah, it just didn't work. But they kind of refined the ship quite a bit, and it works well. So here is your pod. Now this will carry 4 SCU, just like the cutter or anything else. And one trick to this is that if you come up here and you want to store stuff, like, okay, say you land next to something, a building that you need to transfer, and you're standing outside your ship going, how do I transfer? Well, take a squat, hop right here on the edge, and you will be able to read that inventory, right? So, like right now, I have local and personal, right? But if you squat down, come in here, hit the I, now you have your vehicle just by squatting in that little area. Not to mention that this area, which I'll show you a clip of, can actually hold a person. You could actually transport somebody in there if you needed to in an emergency. I wouldn't recommend it just for flying around because that's going to be kind of boring for the other person. But if somebody needs a ride, if somebody needs a medical pickup or any of that, or a transport somewhere, and this is the ship that you have, you can run all of these medical things, all that kind of stuff in this ship. Hill them up, tell them to hop in there and lay down, and off you go. And that's kind of the cool thing about this ship, where maybe in the other ships, especially in the $45 range, it's a little bit harder. But that's a good feature right there. Flight characteristics are pretty good. This thing flies actually well. The thing about this is that it is kind of weak, you know. Once your shields go down, you know, you're almost a sitting duck. You're going to get a wing blown off, an engine blown off. So the idea is to make passes and, you know, keep those shields up as much as possible, even though, you know, the shields are a size 1 and they're kind of weak as well. So I'm going to show you guys a little clip right here of kind of somebody hopping in the back. Jess was we were testing it out, and she got in the back, and I was able to fly away. She does not fall out or anything like that. It does get a little spazzy, but it works and it can be used. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hop you guys into the Erkul games. As always, I want to show you kind of a breakdown and how to add those guns and what you can add to this ship to make it have a little bit more potent firepower for a base ship. And I will be back with you guys in just a second. Okay guys, here we are in the Erkul games, and this is where I kind of want to show you real fast the weapons and what I was talking about of the weapons. Okay, so like I said, you're getting the M4A ×2 cannons, which comes on the little gimbal on the front for your nose turret, right? And you can't really change that because that is the nose turret, right? So you have different types of size 2 that you can use. Now, this comes with 4A ×2 laser cannons. This is what I would personally run. I would take off these cannons just because of what the ship is, and I would come down here and I would throw on your Badgers, right? And your Badgers can be found at center mass, at area 18. A lot of people start there. Crew L5 are new badges. You can see it down here. If you can see my mouse moving around, these are the 3 areas where you can pick these up. Pretty easy areas to get to. But here's where the difference is. See, this ship does not come with the size 1s equipped to the sides, right? The side wings. So what you can do is you can actually, it actually lets you do it. So you can do a size 1 very puck, right? So you can throw on a gimbal to these wings. Then you can come in and you can pick. There's your bulldog. There's your bulldog. Right here. You can throw them on, right? So now you have a nose turret that's gimbaled with your size 2. Now you have a gimbaled Badger, both of them right here. Now I think you can take the, maybe you can leave these off, I'm thinking, but I think they're size 1s no matter what is what the deal is. Even with the gimbal, I think it leaves you with the size 1. So yeah, so you have to pick. So even if you like leave the mount empty, it still gives you a size 1. So you might as well run the gimbal with the rest of the guns, right? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense for you not to run the gimbal with the rest of the guns. So here's your Badgers. Your Badgers are easy. They can be picked up almost anywhere. Same places as your other ones. So you can pick the weapons that you need up at the exact same place. So if you were at center mass at area 18 and that's where you spawned, all your weapons for this can be picked up at the exact same spot. No big deal. Now, the Mustang being a starter ship, you're not going to have turrets. You're not going to have an extra spot for a person except for that cargo underneath, which I will end up throwing in that video so you guys can see, of course. You're pretty much getting the lowest grade civilian stuff that you can absolutely get. You're getting the D series here. I mean, but the thing about this ship, because it's a starter ship and it's a size 1, you can upgrade this to you know, almost anything. I mean, the FR66s was probably what I would throw on it, especially for a shield. A power plant, I would probably just go ahead. I'd either throw the Brenton on here or just go ahead and throw the military, the JS300. The coolers just, I still don't believe the coolers do anything. Some people will argue about that. I'm not seeing crap when it happens, but you know, you throw the Glacier on there, come in here to the Rush, and then you can throw, I guess you just want to go ahead and throw the VK one. I think you lose a lot right here. So I think you lose your distance for the VK. And that's why I don't use that. I think what I end up using on this is I use the Industrial A is what I end up using. I'm not sure if that's going to be on here at this space, but it doesn't look like I can get the Industrial A. But hey, the Industrial B would probably work just as fine. Throw a Colossus on there, you'll get a lot more distance than the VK. You just won't get there quite as fast, right? And then paints and thrusters, that's pretty self-explanatory. But you know, the DPS for that ship is not bad. You know, you can make it go up a little bit if you grab this triangle up here. If you don't know how to use this sight, you grab this triangle, and if you put power to weapons, it tells you what your DPS goes up to. So you can see in the green, the DPS has gone up a little bit, but if you do all power to weapons, you get an extra DPS because you're going to get those extra rounds, right? Same for the shields. If you go to the shields, you lose that DPS. See, 133 compared to 851. You're losing quite a bit of power, quite a bit of hit when you change. So keeping it in the middle, or when you go back into battle, back to weapons is just going to be the way to do it on this ship, especially with something as low as the, you know, Mustang Alpha. But guys, that's really all I have for you in here. There's not much to talk about. It's a very basic starter ship. You can kind of add, literally, it's a trial and error on what you want on this ship. Some people just leave it alone because it's just not worth doing the extra. I mean, you can take a few extra hits with these shields, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot that I've noticed. So it might not even be worth doing this unless you're trying to just max everything out, which is perfectly fine, right? So yeah, let me get you guys back to the other section of the video so we can finish this off, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so Erkul Games, pretty good stuff in there. Hope that helped. A lot of the items that you guys were maybe looking at, what you can do with this ship. I mean, this is a really great looking ship. I mean, for a starter ship, you have to admit this thing is pretty crazy, right? So just real quick, while we're in the hangar, I'm going to do a little takeoff here. It's probably going to give me a warning or whatever, but I kind of want to show you guys what the ship looks like with the wings folded down. And I think I have a couple other clips after this that I can run by you guys. All right, here we go. We got our power up.
All systems
so engines are on. We're going to lift off a little bit. We're going to hold right here. We are going to kill our landing gear. And then I'm just going to show you guys what this kind of ship just looks like hovering in here with no landing gear. No nothing. It's a sweet little ship. It really is. And then from here, if you put that landing gear back down, let me take this baby back down a little bit and land. It's got some nice reaction to it. But yeah, guys, that's really it for what I have for you on this ship. And I mean, because of these reasons that I've said, I still believe this is one of the best starter ships that you can get. You get a little bit more of the fight characteristics. You have the ability to fight larger targets, in my opinion, especially when you add the extra guns and you can fly a little non-gimbaled. A lot of the VLRT targets don't move around as much, so it should be decent kills. Even LRT should be a decent kills for these, and it'd be nice to rank up. You can still do all your box missions. You can still do pretty much everything that you want to do. You can even do cave missions. Remember, all you got to do is go into the little box down there, squat down, and you can transfer all your stuff over. So it's not that big of a deal. It's got a decent sized inventory for you to run that stuff. I actually threw quite a few bodies in there and stripped them, and it worked perfectly fine. So you can do all these cave missions and everything that you can in this, you know, nice little starter ship package. So anyways, tell me what you guys think. Tell me if I'm wrong about something, or maybe there's something that I said that you didn't know you could do with the ship. But if you're looking for a great starter ship, this is absolutely my go-to. My opinion, I started with this. I loved it. I would never have gone back to the Aurora or anything like this. And again, this is just your basic package. I'm not talking about the Pisces. I'm not talking about the Avenger. I'm talking about your $30 ship, your $30 ship plus your $15 game package to just get in the game. And I think as of right now, it might still be on sale for $40. So you might want to go check that out if you're looking at it. And I will try to add my code in the bottom for a referral. Hey, no sense in us not getting some free points for this, right? So guys, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. The support always. I can't thank you guys enough. It's been amazing. I'm gonna keep trying to get update videos out on the game, as long as some of these reviews that people ask for about ships and stuff, as I can collect them. Remember, I don't spend a lot of money on the game, so if something comes along where you want a ship done and a whole review over it, or maybe a more in-depth review, hey, send me some credits in game and I'll see if I can get that ship and get it knocked out. But thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys as always on the next video.